Welcome to SMEX Ed. Class is in session.
I'm your host, Amanda King, and I'm here to teach anybody who wants to fucking listen how to have the audacity to say fuck it to societal standards and live their most authentic life. This podcast is dedicated to bringing the sexual conversations we have behind doors onto the main fucking stage. Because sex, masturbation, squirting, guess what? It is all normal. And by bringing these conversations to the forefront, we help people feel less alone in this world. We help them feel safe. We help them gain their power back. We help them step into their confidence and express themselves sexually in this world unapologetically. Because it takes fucking audacity to be your truest self. And we have a boatloads of audacity all up in this bitch. So let me ask you this. Are you ready for some epic shit?
I received a DM on Facebook and I want to read it to you, and I kind of want to go through this a little bit. So the DM says, "Good morning. I am 47 years old, single mom that works like an animal to just survive. You are a true inspiration to myself and many other women. As you know, it's extremely difficult to find the time for self-care, never mind self-love. So many of us don't feel the worth that we actually do have. How did you find yours? I would love to know how you've turned yourself into this powerhouse of a woman that we all get to see. Have you always been so inspirational and confident?" This is one, thank you so much for all of the really beautiful, kind things that you said in this DM. But I want to talk about this because I believe, and this is my opinion, of course, take it or leave it, that the patriarchy and that society sets up women to fail, regardless of how hard we try and how much energy we put into this world. And I want to talk about it because I went to an event on Sunday, this really beautiful event where it was a group about 15 of us talking about the intentions and that we want to set for the upcoming months and just kind of reflecting on our lives. And it was all women, and every single woman who said something or shared what they were feeling kind of had a common theme. And that common theme was feeling like they were never good enough, feeling like no matter how hard they tried, they just couldn't be good enough for their spouses, good enough for their family, good enough in their career. And it broke my heart to hear all of these women speak about all of this guilt and all of this shame about feeling like they have the weight of the world on their shoulders at any given moment, how they feel they have to support their own feelings or that their own feelings get put to the back burner so that their spouses or their friends or their families or even their students, because some of them were teachers, feelings always get put before their own. And a lot of their intentions was to focus on self-care and putting themselves first. And that breaks my heart because we shouldn't have to set that intention. That should just be something that we do. But as women, we are set up to fail and never feel good enough by a society that is built by the patriarchy. And before you shut this off, if you're a gentleman who listens to me or you just don't want to hear that quote unquote take down the patriarchy bullshit, just let me expand your mind. Let me tell you what it is like to be a woman who grows up in society, because it is exhausting being a woman growing up in modern society right now. And I understand that men definitely get it on their own. What's the word? They definitely have it through their own experiences as well. But with women, I feel like it's amplified so much because from a young age, we are given some kind of rules and guidelines that we should follow, right? We should be putting everyone else's feelings, everyone else's shit, for a better lack of word, before our own. Our own satisfaction, our own emotions, our own pleasure are supposed to take a back seat to everybody else in our lives because women are supposed to be self sacrificing. Women aren't supposed to understand what it's like to truly love themselves, because when they do love themselves and they set boundaries and they say things like, my time matters, my energy matters, they are called selfish, they are called egotistical, they are called terrible mothers. We are fed this contradicting information all of the time, and we are damned if we do, and we are damned if we don't. If you haven't seen the Barbie movie recently, I highly suggest you go and see it, and take like, if you have younger daughters, I highly suggest you take them to see it too, because it's an extremely empowering movie that touches on a lot of issues that women face in society today. And America Ferrera goes on this huge monologue basically about how women are constantly told contradictory evidence, like contradictory things, and yet we're told that we're supposed to be everything and we're supposed to be everything for everyone. And that is fucking exhausting. And we wonder why so many women struggle with their self-worth and their value when the world tells them that they're constantly never enough. Don't believe me? A mother attends her child's soccer game. It's considered normal. If she doesn't attend a child's soccer game, she's not a good mother. If she puts her career first, she's not a good mother. However, her male counterpart, if the father shows up to one soccer game when he hasn't shown up all season, everyone says what a great father he is to make it to that game. If that father is career driven and misses family events for his job, he is considered, well, he's the breadwinner. That's great that he's putting your family first. He's never called a bad father. And the minimal, bare minimum that he does gets praised, while the maximum amount of shit that a mother goes through always gets taken for granted and overlooked, because it's expected from women to be able to do all of the things. Society sets women up to not feel like they're enough, because from birth it tells us we're never fucking good enough. You are never thin enough. You are never smart enough. You are never sexy enough. If you are sexy, you have to be a certain level of sexy. Sexy enough to pique interest in other people, but not overly sexy where it offends people or other people's spouses. You're supposed to wear makeup, but not enough makeup to where it looks like too much makeup, but enough makeup to not make you look tired. You're supposed to be self-sacrificing, but you're also supposed to take care of yourself, right? Because, like, hashtag self-care and self-love. And a lot of women are juggling 6,432 plates at all times, and they are just tired. And they are searching for their worth and wonder why they can't find it. And it's not their fault that they can't find it. If you're listening to this, it is not your fault that you never feel good enough, because society constantly tells you you're never good enough and then sets you up to fail when you are good enough. If you finally succeed in what's something that society tells you that you're supposed to, for example, you figure out how to finally take self-care and make it a priority while still juggling the 10,000 plates you are, society then focuses on that one plate that's just not making it, like, that just gets like 5% of your attention, and society points that plate out all of the time. Well, you have enough time to go get your nails done. You couldn't bring Jimmy to his soccer game the other day. Oh, well, you had enough time to sit and read that book. You couldn't do the laundry in that moment. Now the laundry is piling up. Women are damned if they do and they damned if they don't. And we are told that we are worthless from birth as well. And so we sit here and we have this paradox, and I'm unsure if that's the correct terminology and using that word, but we struggle with this notion of just value and self-worth and just sitting here and thinking that we are enough. And I'm sharing this with you not to put you down or not to make you feel defeated, because it's not your fault, ladies. You are set up to lose. So there is no way to win, right? Because no matter how much you try, no matter how much effort you put in there, no matter how much you love yourself, society will always tell you something's wrong. And I tell you that, like I said, not to make you feel defeated, but instead to empower you to just stop giving so many fucks about things. Stop caring so much what society thinks. Stop trying to be it all. You cannot be it all. You shouldn't have to be it all. And that's what I want you to focus on. It's not right. It's not right that society makes you have to do everything and be everything. You have to be the perfect mother, the perfect sister, the perfect partner. You have to be the perfect career driven woman. Or if you stay at home, you're not paying enough. If you stay at home, your life revolves way too much around your kids. But if you go to career, how can you focus on your career when you have children? You are literally set up to fail no matter how hard you try, no matter how amazing you are. And that's the thing. You all are fucking amazing. You all are incredible human beings, and your self-worth and self-value should not be determined by how much shit you can put on your plate. It should be determined by you. Society is telling you you are never enough. You have always been enough. Society tells women that they're never enough because women drive 80% of the consumer market when it comes to purchasing decisions. So, what does that mean? When we are looking at buying something, a man and a woman go up and they determine whether or not they want to buy it. It's typically 80% of the time, it's the woman who makes the decision. Society knows this. Society is built on a patriarchy that tells women it's not enough, so that women will continue to drive the consumer market upward because we will buy products that will make us feel enough, right? Oh, your tummy is not flat enough. Why don't you buy this shapewear? Let's like jam your body into something that looks like it should be fit on a fucking tiny ass little doll. Let's try to get your body into that so that your breasts are perky, your ass is like, what is the acronym they use? A big, I don't know, the fucking Brazilian ass acronym that they use, so that your tummy is non-existent. But don't worry, like, this is the modern day corset. Let's stick you in there, and if you can't breathe, it's okay. You're not meant to breathe. You're just meant to look good. But buy that so that you can wear the dresses, so you can hide your tummy, because your tummy is terrible and your tummy makes you not good enough. So buy that $50 piece of shapewear. Oh, well, you want to get thinner and dieting and exercise isn't working. Here's this pill. Pop this pill. You won't be able to sleep. It'll give you insomnia. It will make you run around the house like a chicken with your head cut off. Your heartbeat will be so fucking increased that it feels like it could pop out of your throat at any given time. You will eat less than a child because you will have no appetite, but you will be thinner, which means you will be enough. So let's buy this $70 diet pill that's going to do that just for you. We drive the market forward. And if society made us feel enough, like we were pretty enough, like we were thin enough, or we are perfect just the way we were, we wouldn't need those products in order to feel better. The market would crash. And so it continuously feeds us this bullshit about how we are never going to be perfect. And it also feeds us this idealistic notion that perfect exists, which it doesn't, right? It picks a specific person or a specific body type to personify every decade. It's something new, right? Growing up in the 90s, it was Kate Moss heroin chic. You had to be 98 pounds, looking like Skeletor. It had to be thin, not having your period. Your hair is basically falling out, but you look really great in a bikini. But if you got to 90, 89 pounds, you're too thin. You're Nicole Richie, anorexic. You need to go to rehab. You need to gain more weight. You need to be at that specific weight. And then we are now in the Kardashian aspect, where it's you have to have curves. Curves are all of a sudden the thing. You have to have thick thighs, a fat ass, nice round boobs. But guess what? Your waist still needs to be as tiny as Barbie's. Your waist needs to be the smallest part of you, even if it is not physically possible. And we personify people like the Kardashians, who have been nipped and tucked to every end. And we are told that's perfection when that didn't even exist. It's all make believe, right? Society does this, media personifies it. And so it's not your fault that you never feel enough. And like, for circling back to the question, I never felt enough. Sometimes I still don't feel enough. But what I have done is I've recognized that I'm not ever going to feel enough because society won't let me. Even when you become your most confident, even when you become your most, I don't know, in love with yourself and happy with yourself, society will tell you how terribly wrong that is. Society will tell you that you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be loving yourself, and you're cocky and you're arrogant and you're just doing it for attention. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, ladies. So why start, like, why continue to take stock, there we go, in what society says? You shouldn't. Your value, your worth should be determined by you. If you can wake up every single day and you say, I am trying my fucking hardest. I am failing on certain levels. That is okay. I am still trying. I am a good fucking person. Am I a great person? No, always room for improvement. But today I am a good fucking person. That is all that matters. Waking up and just saying, I'm trying, I'm surviving, I'm doing my best, and I am allowed to feel joy and pleasure and happiness, even if I'm not marking every fucking checkbox. We as women, we live our life based on to-do lists. And that's so sad. And I like feel that at a soul level. It's not me pointing the finger. It's me being transparent. Is I'm an overachiever as well, because women are told that the only time they get recognition is when they work themselves to the bone, overachieve everything, and then they get seen. And so it becomes a cycle that it is very hard to break. And so many women can't break it. And so many women struggle with knowing and recognizing how fucking incredible they are. If you're a single fucking mom who is 47 years old, you have so much value into this world. You are valuable to your kids. You're valuable to your ex, whoever fathered those children would not exist without you. You are valuable to them, even though they may not ever say that. You are valuable to this planet because you exist on this planet. If you exist on this planet, you hold value. That's how it is. And the second you start recognizing that society is just lying to you all of the time about needing to be better, is the second you start recognizing, fuck this. And that's what happened with me. And my own journey was starting to untangle the lies upon lies that society had told me, that my own family had told me, that friends had told me, and recognizing that I was never too much. Everyone else was just too little. It was never about me. It was about them, and it was their shit that they were projecting on me. Do you know how much the average human being unconsciously projects onto other people? Sit in a group of people and hear one person state their problems. I'm having a problem with this. And then listen to how everyone else in that group projects their own shit to do with that problem. So let's use an example of dating. Everyone has that one friend that is always in these dating messes, right? And that one friend says, oh, I can't find a good guy. Like, what am I doing wrong? And all of this shit. You will literally hear every single person at that table start bringing their own shit about a person in their life that reminds them of that person's whatever problem person is. And you'll hear everyone project their own opinions on that person. They will project their own stories. They will share their own personal experiences of when it fucked up and when they should have learned, which is great. We should all expand and open and give feedback, but we should also give feedback from a state of like, hey, this is just my feedback. I'm not projecting it, I'm sharing it. But a lot of just people throw it on other people. And so it becomes this way of just recognizing that no one knows better than you. No one sees your value better than you. You have to see your value before before this world will ever see your value. When you look at someone, and when you look at me, which do not put me on a fucking pedestal because I am nowhere near fucking perfect and I struggle every single fucking day. That was a lot of fucks, but deal with it. every day, just like every other freaking person on this planet does. I struggle. I struggle some mornings waking up and feeling so terrible in my body, whether I'm bloated, whether I just don't feel good. This morning, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed where I, honest to God, wanted to crush the world with my hands and start fires all over this planet. I do not wake up optimistic and sunshiny and in love with my body every day. I have times where I can't even see my own self-worth. My husband has to be like, "Are you fucking crazy? You're incredible." There are times where I don't feel confident at all. I get nervous. I get upper lip sweat. That's a joke of mine. It's like for some reason, every time I get really nervous, I start sweating on my upper lip, and it's so embarrassing when it happens. But it happens because I'm fucking human. There are times where I look at the boudoir photos that I posted or that I have been posting that I just got done recently, and I see what a beautiful human being I am, and I see what a powerhouse I am. And there are times where I look at them and I'm like, I don't like how my chin looks. Am I starting to get a turkey neck? Oh, that picture just shows that one roll. If we could take that one roll out of that photo, oh my gosh, I like all these behind shots. Maybe I just don't like the way my face looks, or oh my God, that angle would have been so much better if it was slightly. I pick shit apart. Why? Because how can you sit here and be this idealistic, perfect notion in your head when it doesn't exist and society has set you up to feel imperfect all of the time, even when you are perfect? And so it's about recognizing that society is the one who is wrong, not you. It's society who is steering you in the wrong direction, not you. You know more about everything than anybody else on this planet. So when people share their opinions with you, just let it go. Take it, leave it. That's why I always, when I share my opinion, say, this is my 2 cents, take it or leave it. You don't have to listen to it. You know better than you, always. You know how valuable you are on this planet. Other people may not recognize that value. Fuck them. Recognize it for yourself. Validate your own feelings. Validate yourself. I have people all of the time. If I get into arguments with people and I say, that hurt my feelings, and they say, well, I don't understand why that hurt your feelings, blah, 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 I will straight up look them in the face and say, I don't need you to validate my feelings. They're valid because I feel them. I don't need you to agree with them. And I respect if you don't agree with them, but they're how I feel, and that is unchanging. Do you know how fast and quickly people back down from that? Why? Because they recognize that I don't need them, that I just need myself. That's all you need in this life. You just need you. You need to recognize your value. You need to see yourself. You need to treat yourself with the utmost respect. And then people can't fuck with that. When people recognize their own worth and their own strength and their own power, they become unfuckable with. The rest of the world runs around like a scared little kid because they are scared. Nothing is scarier than a powerful woman who will say no, who will set boundaries, who sees her value and validates her own feelings. That is the scariest Frankenstein monster in the entire world to a society that has told us that women are meek and weak and deserve to be seen and not heard, and they are property. Because remember, we all started out as property at one point. We were not people to society. And although it has gotten better by a lot, we still have such a far way to go. So if you are a woman listening to this and you were like, I don't have any value or I can't see it, you've got to work on seeing it yourself, because society is never going to show it to you. And once you recognize all the bullshit you were put through and how many lies have been shoved down your throat and how this idealistic notion of perfection is plastered in your face all of the time, even though the people creating these rules never reach it themselves, right? These rules were created by men who will never know the experience of being a woman. and they can't even uphold their own standards as well. Do you think society is perfect? Absolutely not. Do you think society fucks up all of the time? Absolutely. But we don't hold them as accountable as we hold women. And so I guess my hope was, one, that I answered this question that you did send me, because it was a beautiful question. And I just wanted to kind of, I don't know, freestyle or just let it flow of the feeling I feel when I hear someone say, I don't see my own value. There's so much value for you to see. And there's so much strength within you, and so much beauty, and so much power. And the world has told you it doesn't exist because they're scared of what will happen if you recognize that, because then you're in control and they're not. And that's what's happening here. They're trying to control you. And the second you say, I don't want to be controlled, I refuse to be controlled, and you put them in their place, they're going to point the finger at you and tell you you're wrong. You're not wrong. It's them. They are wrong. They need to change, not you. They need to shift perspective, not you. You do not deserve to spend a life being a self-sacrificing person who never gets to experience anything in life because everyone else's shit needs to be put before your own. That is a terrible, fucking sad life to live. Your self matters. Start recognizing that. Advocate for yourself, ladies, because no one else in this world is going to advocate for you besides you. Don't let me advocate for you. Get up there and use your voice. If a sister or a friend is struggling advocating for themselves, help them find their voice. The more we shout, the more we talk, the more we have these conversations, the ripple effect it causes on this entire fucking world, and more women start sitting here and going, wait a second, this is bullshit. All of this is lies. And I deserve so much more than this, because we do, ladies. And that's when the shift in power starts happening. And that's where you create momentous change. And it starts one person at a time. And although you have been told that your voice does not matter, it absolutely fucking matters. It doesn't matter what position you hold, right? What your career is, whether you have kids, whether you don't have kids, your voice matters, ladies. So speak the fuck up. Be the person who says, no, society, I'm allowed to feel this way. I'm allowed to be a powerful, beautiful, sexual, freaking beast of a woman. I'm allowed to be smart and sexy. I'm allowed to be pretty and taken seriously. I'm allowed to be nurturing and bold and ambitious, because you are allowed to be all of those things, ladies. Find the value within yourself first. The world will follow. Thank you so much. And as always, if you know someone who needs to hear this, please share it, screenshot it. If you like this episode, feel free to DM me and let me know. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening to Smex Ed with Amanda.
And some parting words for you today. Remember this: no matter how hard society pushes you down, no matter how many times you fall, as long as you get the fuck back up, they can never stop you. You are unfuckable with. You will win. Don't allow this world to dictate how you show up in it. Don't allow society to make you bend the knee. Instead, make them bend theirs. And don't forget, if you like what you heard, go on to iTunes and Spotify and leave your girl a review. Until next time, my beautiful people.